Hi, I'm Dr. Dot. In a moment, you'll see a video interview between myself and Phil Collen of Def Leppard. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hey, Phil.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, I'm trying to figure out the lighting on this thing. 1 second. I just got my kid out of my hair. You know what that's like.
I do. No one's running around out there with a microphone, so yeah.
It's like I had to banish him to the upstairs,
I know all about it. Yeah.
So how you been, mate?
Great. Yeah, it's great. We rehearsed. Everything's great. It sounds amazing. The album's out. Sounds great. Everything's just incredible. So we start next week in Atlanta on the 16th.
Whoa, Atlanta. Nice.
I know.
That's great. Is your daughter in Savannah going to come?
She is, yeah. Savannah and Charlotte, they're out there, so they're going to come because I'm going to go out there first, see them for a couple of days, and then they're going to come out. Yeah.
If you notice behind me, I found it. It's a flag that you guys all signed.
Wow.
Yours is upside down. It says, hi there, baby Phil, but yours is upside down, or I don't know how it was, but
Perhaps it's an Australian flag.
is this Vivian Goldbell? Is that what
Was he what?
Vivian Gold something Bell? I don't know.
Oh, it's Campbell. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's Rick. Rick Savage, Rick Allen, Joe, and you. So I got that.
There you go. Not bad. I'm impressed.
That's how when I first met you, you had a shirt on like that, your shorts were like that. Let me think.
Yeah, and the shirts. We had the shirts and the sleeveless shirt and the shorts.
I love that. You guys should come back with that sleeveless Union Jack shirt again. I think it would go over really well.
I think so. It's the fit though. It was kind of a bit, it was early 80s, so it was that kind of fit.
I would wear it. I would love one actually, but
that would be cool, huh?
Yeah, like retro. Why not? People would go nuts.
Okay, I'll put that forward.
I just heard somewhere today. I posted in a Def Leppard group on Facebook. Hey, do you have any questions for Phil? And they were saying, does he know that the album just went #1 in some rock today? Right?
Yes, well, I heard that. That's great news. In the rock chart, in the Billboard rock chart, it's different now the way that the charts are because they're streaming and they take that into consideration. It went in #10 on overall, that's sales and streaming. Went in #1 on the rock chart. It went in #2 on physical, like vinyl and CDs or whatever they buy now. And it was the highest new entry in the top 10. A new album. So pretty confusing, but there's all these things. So yes, doing great, but yeah.
But that's amazing before the tour even starts, like when the tour starts, it's probably going to get up higher,
Hopefully, yeah. And I just think just giving us a bit of a position so you can actually see who we are and stuff like that, kind of give us a bit of a all of a sudden we're here, we actually exist type thing, especially after COVID and everything.
What is that thing behind you? Is that to show how tall you are?
Yeah. So that was Jackson, February the 10th. I don't think you can see that. Yeah, that's yeah.
Cute.
That's all right. But yeah.
Americans do it the old-fashioned way. Usually they take a pencil on the wall.
Well, I've got that. The other door's that way in the other room, so we got that going as well.
Go stand up again. Let's see how tall you are. Come on, then.
Well, I'm 5'7".
5'7".
5'7". You see, you can't. Actually, I'm huge. It doesn't even go up that far. But yeah, I'm 5'7".
That's cute. I did get a bunch of fan stuff from the group there, the Def Leppard group, because they like to ask, and why not? It catches you off guard. You never know what they're going to ask, right?
Absolutely.
So, a lady named Gailey Harris. Hi, I'm a librarian in Montgomery City, Missouri. What is Phil's favorite book and why?
Favorite book? Let me think about that. But yes, I read all the time. So I'm yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the books that made an impact. You know, it was a great book by Anthony Burgess. It was called Burn. It was kind of done in poetry stuff. I mean, it was really cool. Anthony Burgess wrote Clockwork Orange,
Oh, okay.
but this
He wrote a book.
historic,
He wrote a book of poetry as well.
but it's not. It's about this scallywag, this Irish scallywag that goes through. It's just really interesting. It's done in such an interesting way. I mean, there's loads of books. I'm reading a really good book now, and I kind of lost it, but I found it again. It's called Edge of the World. It's about the center of the world used to be, and civilization used to be the North Sea. So it's like the Vikings and the Frisians and the English and the all of them converging. They didn't realize until the Chinese Silk Route and just like in the Middle East and everything. But it's fascinating. It's like from 700 and something.
What's the name of the book?
Edge of the World.
Edge of the World.
By Michael Pye, I think. Yeah, Pye. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's really interesting, fascinating.
Okay.
And the really great thing about historical books is everything is exactly the same as it was before. And they say history doesn't repeat itself, it constantly rhymes. So whatever's happening now, it's just like a play. It's like only you have different actors in it. Yeah. So when you read something like this, there's all these slaughtering and these monks and everything. These Vikings are going to Scotland, and then they're settling in and trading with the Dutch, who are called. Anyway, it's fascinating. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it really does. I mean, history sort of does repeat itself, except now with internet, it's going to be the same thing, but with more modern stuff.
Yeah.
I've noticed that too. Like, people talk about the book 1984 and they go, huh.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's happening.
Then we have Brian Hackett in San Diego. Who branded you the Terror Twins?
Phil Wilkie, who was our monitor guy. We used to call him Side Phil. His name was Phil, and it was Side Phils. That's what they call them thing. Anyway, he said me and Steve got into trouble once, and he goes, "Oh, here come the Terror Twins," and it kind of stuck.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Right. Kind of like Frank Zappa called me Dr. Dot, and I said, "There you go."
Oh, that was wow. He christened you. That's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, he could have called me Dr. Poop, and I would have said, "I'm taking it, whatever." It's
absolutely. No, Dr. Dot's great. Yeah.
Then Mark White in Dallas, very interested in his time with Girl and Dumb Blonde.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was pretty. The girl stuff was like crazy. It was like that's what I thought. Rock bands. I thought, oh my god, when we started in Def Leppard, we started getting big and playing bigger places. I thought this is going to be insane. But the girl period was way more insane and debauched and all the above. Really, very rock and roll. And was only playing smaller places, but we're a London band. It was kind of post-punk, and it was kind of glammy. It was kind of like if you crossed New York Dolls and Aerosmith, it kind of sounded a bit like that. But so yeah, it was fun. It was a great learning curve, and and Simon Laffey, who was the bass player, I just played on his new album. He's just got an album out. So he was in Man Rays with Paul Cook from the Pistols, and not only seen that new Pistols movie, Pistol. That's pretty cool on Hulu. It's a 5 or 6 part. And
I didn't even find time to sleep. You're so busy. Like you're on other people's albums.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, I do everything. I record on this computer that I'm talking. I've done the whole album on this, and just plug in and do the vocals there. And you can do. I mean, I was doing demos in hotel rooms and stuff like that, and some of this stuff ends up on the album. It's pretty amazing.
You don't have to be together in a.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you can just. And it's so much easier doing it this way. And I think with everything, it's like reading or seeing a movie. It's like, oh, I've got 20 minutes. I can do this now. And you know what it's like when, especially with kids, you're like, your time's like, well, I've got 20 minutes and make it count. Or you can, or not do that. And I think it's great when you get into the thing of doing all these different things. It's kind of neat.
And another thing, it saves money on studio time, doesn't it?
Huge amounts. I think there was a lot of waste, but I think it's more inspiring as well. I actually think I got a lot more inspired doing it this way. I think when you go to a studio, my big problem is you're waiting around for someone and someone's waiting for you, so you feel a bit rushed, and sometimes you don't get an idea out totally. It doesn't come to fruition because someone else will suggest something, and before you know it, that's gone. So doing it this way, it was really cool. I mean, during the, I spoke to you last time, I was actually going to the beach. I used to go in the morning, like 6 o'clock, and go swimming in the sea. And I did that during lockdown, and that was great. It was like, it'd still be dark and the moon was out, and it's like awesome. And
still doing that now? Are you still?
No, I stopped doing it. I do the cold shower thing or cold plunge in the pool, but even that's it's heated up now, so the sun heats it up. Like after May, you can't really do a cold plunge.
It looks like you got some sun. You look.
I did. I was sitting out there with Jackson today, and he's run up and down the hill.
Look tanner than me. Speaking of side projects and stuff, last time we spoke, you said your other thing, Quadrant 4, you said you were going to make a video. Did you ever make that video?
We did, yeah. So it's that's really cool. It's me, Forrest Robinson, and Craig Martini on bass, Forrest Robinson on drums, and it's kind of like a shred jazz rock fusion thing from early 70s. Billy Cobham had this album called Spectrum, and there was this song with Tommy Bolin on guitar and Jan Hammer on keyboards, and it's just amazing. Him on drums, and it had Lee Sklar, who played bass, and you may have seen him. He played with everybody. He's got a long beard. And
yeah,
he's just amazing. So, and I actually got to play with him a few years ago. We actually done this song as well. But yeah, it's up and it's out. It's called Quadrant 4, Phil Collen, and it's
So is the video on YouTube, or where can people see the video? Oh,
YouTube.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was waiting for that to come out. Wait a second. Let's go. Oh yeah, Gina Murray from Brisbane. Please ask him, when are the band coming back to Australia? From Gina, a Def Leppard devotee since 36 years, and please give Sav my love.
Okay, I'll see Sav next week. I just spoke to my friend Kevin Pratt, who's the guitar player in Sydney, actually. So I was just talking to him, and he was just saying, when are you coming out and all that stuff. We've been having requests, and I think now that everyone knows we're actually really going on tour, us, Motley, Poison, and Joan Jett, we're getting requests in. So we are going to do Europe next summer, that's for sure. And we're getting requests from South America and Australia and Japan. So the Australia-Japan part would be either earlier in the year or after. If you go, okay, we've got Europe in next summer, we've got to fit this stuff in and around it. So
right. Okay. So it's either before next summer or after next summer.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
And most fans replied in that string of questions. They said, well, it's not up to the band, it's up to the promoter. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Hemi Millard from Ohio. I met them a few years ago, and I asked Phil about Joe slapping him in the Me and My Wine video, but I totally can't remember what he said. You can see the what the hell man look on his face. Maybe you could ask him about that and remind me what he said.
I didn't know what he said, but he really slapped me, and I was kind of shocked. So I was like, "What?" So and they got it in the video, so it was kind of cool. We done that video at someone at this house, and we didn't realize that they'd borrowed their mum's house to shoot a rock video, and we thought it was just like some rented thing, but it was someone's mum, and we're like, "Oh crap!" We kind of being disrespectful because you just thought, whatever, it's someone's house, it doesn't really matter. We found out it was someone's mum. We actually felt really bad, but yeah, the slap was a genuine one. Yeah. Wow,
it's kind of like the Chris Rock and Will Smith slap, like that.
Not as shocking as that. It was not as hard as that either. Yeah, it was done with no malice. It was done with all love, a love slap.
Okay, a love slap. Don Schiller from Concord, California. Will he ever bring out on tour his original black Ibanez Destroyer DT555 guitar from the Pyromania videos?
So it's in Cleveland at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum. So that's where it is at the moment, and I do occasionally bring that out. It's got a little brother that's kind of the same. But I've actually got a Jackson guitar. They made one that's like that, and it's just badass. I'll actually play that on tour.
So it's like a replica.
Yes, but like I said, the other one's in Cleveland. So
yeah. Okay, so you can't take that one.
But
Barb,
having said that, I my Bela Lugosi one was in Cleveland for years, and we played there one night, and I said, "Can I get it out the case, bring it back later on?" So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people brought it down. I put new strings on, played it, gave it back to them. They put it in a case. I mean, I've got it with me now. It's going to be on tour this year, but
so maybe if you
yeah.
play Cleveland, and if you go to Cleveland, maybe you can do the same thing.
I could do, but my current guitars are the best ones I've ever had out on tour. They're just like really souped up. I've had some of my older ones redone, like new pickups, new hardware, and they just monstrous. Instead of getting new guitars, I've actually got a bunch of old ones that are all kind of souped up, which is interesting.
So they're retired, those guitars, they're retired.
Well, they were, but now they've come out and they're better than they ever were. They've got,
Okay.
titanium stuff on them. And
Well, I mean, men tend to take old antique cars and work on them until they're beautiful again, right? So why not?
Absolutely. And I heard that they're doing, you can get your classic car EV'd. You can get an electric version of it. So you can have like an old E-Type or a Porsche or something, or a Mustang. Yeah, pretty cool.
Like an old SS Chevy, like my dad used to drive an Chevy, like but with a new motor and new windows.
Yeah,
and all that.
A muscle car. Yeah, that'd be really great. Anyway, they've started doing that. I mean, apparently it's like 30 grand, but if you're in love with your car and you don't want to get a new one and you want your one to be electric, then it's actually a good deal.
Yeah. All right. So we got Barb Dubé from Denver. I've been following them since middle school. I have sat on my tickets for 3 years now. Can you ask if they're going to play all their old stuff for the show in Denver, Colorado, please? And thank you.
We're going to play, you're going to love it, whatever stuff. We're going to do a bit of everything. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How could you not? After 3 years, they'll be excited. Debbie Wenzel Crico. I saw an interview with Helen Collen months ago. Someone asked her what her favorite Def Leppard song is. Her reply was that she couldn't say because it hadn't been released yet.
Ooh.
So my question to Phil is, what is Helen's favorite Def Leppard song now that DSH is out and it was obvious it's on this album?
Right. So it's a song called Angels. A song that Joe wrote on the piano. And when we recorded it, we got Mike Garson, who was David Bowie's pianist from Aladdin Sane. So if you remember that beautiful piano solo and Lady Grinning Soul, and actually he was with David Bowie until he died. He was actually on his last stuff as well. But Joe was doing some work with him. They were doing these Bowie tribute things on Bowie's birthday, and he asked him. Joe phoned up. Garson said he's up for playing on the album. And I'm like, yeah, this is great because he's our favorite guy. So we were thrilled about that. And the song Angels is just beautiful. It reminds me of a bit like of early Elton John, like Madman Across the Water, Tumbleweed Connection, early stuff like that. And by the time it gets to the end, I do a big old guitar solo on it, and gets to the end, it actually sounds like Pink Floyd, like it should be on Dark Side of the Moon. So it really goes through all the stuff there. It's beautiful, and I love it. So it's one of my favorites on the album. Oh,
I'm excited to hear it. Is Helen around? Tell her I said hi. Hi, Helen.
I will. She's in the other room. I can hear little one squeaking, but like I said, he's running around with the microphone.
They're so cute. Michelle Ben Sasowski, Baltimore, Maryland. What is your favorite Terra Twin story that can be told? I'm sure there are a few that will never see the light of day.
Well, there is so many. They're so ridiculous. And there was once we got so drunk. We were in Biarritz in south of France, and we went out, and I remember, I think I threw up. We got so terribly drunk, clothes off, dancing on a bar in some weird pub, buying the whole bar drinks, and my wallet was empty. Just all stupid stuff. And we used to share rooms. So when our European tours, because we didn't have any money, so this was, although Pyromania was out, we were still vastly in debt. And me and Steve used to share a room. And so I remember there was a knock on the door, and it was Rick Allen's brother, who was our tour manager, Robert. And he brought my shoes in. And it just didn't say anything, gave me my shoes. And I'm thinking, what's that? And I said to Steve, what what was that all about? He said, I have no idea. Do you remember what happened last night? I said, no, I don't remember us getting back here. I don't remember any of this stuff. And this used to happen quite a lot, fairly dangerous stuff. You'd be in Amsterdam and you'd be out in the middle of Amsterdam doing all sorts of whatever. And then you'd wake up and you'd be back in Hilversum or Loostrecht, which is a little village, and you had no recollection of how we got there. So this used to happen a lot. And that's actually, in the end, why I stopped drinking. It was like these kind of weird, blackout moments. And it's almost like, parallel universe stuff where you had no idea what was going on until people said, oh my God, you should have seen you last night. You did. So me and Steve used to happen quite a bit. And that was absolutely the catalyst for me to go, probably shouldn't do this anymore.
So how many years have you been sober?
36. It's 1987 was my old girlfriend Liz. It was her birthday, which is in March, and we was in Paris, and I said, oh, I'm gonna have a glass of champagne, I'm not going to drink after this. And she said, all right, I'll join you. And that was it. So yeah, so
Wow.
1987. Huh?
I mean, maybe that's why you look so young, because alcohol, it ages people, right?
It does, and it just confuses you. I know with me personally, I couldn't do the social drinking thing. I couldn't say, oh, I'll have a glass of wine, because I'd be finishing the bottle and drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels by the end of the week. So it wasn't really that. I probably could do it now, but I'm not even bothered about doing it. So it's fine. But I feel great, and I think that that's partly something to do with it. So
you think? I mean, from what I've observed, I've been backstage since '83. You being the first rock star I ever had my hands on. I've noticed that since then to now, rock stars and pop stars alike have traded drugs and alcohol for video games and massage, pretty much. I see a lot of people playing video games on their tour. And spending their money on chiropractors and massage. Well, you have to. I think something really started shifting in the 80s. Like before that, it was 50s, 60s, especially the 70s. It was very artistic. It was a artistic expression. It was all that was celebrated. It became a business, and then so all of a sudden you got to look after yourself. It's like you can't fall over, you can't get drunk, you can't do these things, otherwise it doesn't work anymore. So you have to start looking after your bodies, and obviously, getting massage and chiropractic, like all of that just really helps. It's like a sports team. It's like they're gonna. I remember soccer players in the 70s and earlier. They'd come off and they'd smoke half time and they'd have a quick nip of a drink. You couldn't do that now. You see like Ronaldo and Messi, they're like science projects and everything, like, NBA, Tom Brady. I mean, I've got to say, hats off to Tom Brady. It's like pretty amazing what he does. He really looks after himself. And they go, oh, he's a freak of nature. No, he's just really smart. And it's logically, he goes, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to do stretches. I'm going to do a light workout. I ain't got to prove anything. He's proved it all. So, I respect that, and I get inspired by that as well. And I think that's what you have to do if you want to be in the long haul. Yeah, because your body is your tool and your health is your wealth. Yes, absolutely. Without your health, you have nothing. Right. Yeah. And it was such a pity to lose people like Bon Scott and Keith Moon over silly things, and Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix and, and Whitney Houston. We lost so many great artists because they didn't know how to say no, and they had maybe the wrong people around them and stuff. And so I like to preach health, and I know you do. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, always, it's so important. And especially now. I have a personal question. You're a vegan. I hardly ever eat meat, and I find myself dizzy a lot. I eat the same salad every single day, and I notice that I'm seeing little stars and I'm getting dizzy. And I'm asking you, how do you get protein? I think I'm lacking protein. Well, I eat a lot of protein, and sometimes I'll add powders to some of my smoothie. Like I'm making an acai bowl every day, so I have like tons of fruit and like 2 cups of spinach in it. But I put protein powder in it as well, and it tastes quite. Which is your favorite protein powder? So I can. Actually, there's one called
or gain, I think. But there's actually Tom Brady's got one out called TB something, and I kept using that. That tastes great, the vanilla one. So yeah, just throw that in. You know, so
I want to make sure it doesn't have soy in it, because I heard soy has too much estrogen in it and it makes you.
I think you got a really like I eat soy products and it doesn't bother me. You know, it's like, you know,
You're not growing any boobs.
that's the cleavage part. Perhaps that is what it is. Oh my God, yeah. No, it's fine. I think anything kind of like that, you know, you obviously don't kill yourself with it, eating too much. But I eat seitan, I have tempeh a lot. So these are all real high protein. That's kind of like it's from a soybean.
Tempeh and protein powder.
Yeah.
So you don't have eggs because you're a vegan.
No. Don't have eggs, don't have milk. I eat nuts. I got a serious nuts problem. I like eating them. It's like cashew nuts. I love them. Brazil nuts, if you can eat them, hazelnuts, great, awesome. But yeah,
salted or unsalted, or does it matter?
Yeah, you shouldn't really have them salted, but I love salted ones. It's one of my weaknesses. So it's kind of like
I have some weakness.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Then, yeah. Deep Purple, Jimi Hendrix. I know we've talked about Jimi Hendrix and you love him. We're curious, like, who do you think would be the biggest influence on you in your guitar playing? Deep Purple or Jimi Hendrix? I mean, completely different topic now.
Yeah, but I guess the first show I ever saw was Deep Purple, and it was Richie Blackmore standing in front of me with a Strat. And so it's the reason I stand on that side of the stage. It's the reason I got a Strat, and it was all of that. So that was the most inspired moment. It was like, oh my God. But as I got into it, as I kind of realized what was happening, I realized that Jimi Hendrix was the most important electric guitar player out there. You know, it's he just combined everything. It was like a hybrid. It was everything. It was blues, it was jazz, it was funk, it was soul, it was rock. He was like the first real rock guitar player. I know, you know, we had Pete Townsend, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page doing that stuff, but Hendrix, it was so pure and so extreme. And he didn't even realize he was doing it. It was just oozing out of it. It was just like being channeled or something, you know. So that was great.
So much in such a short amount of time. I mean,
yes.
As far as Jimmy goes, you know, like
absolutely
27.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah,
it's amazing, right?
Insane.
I wonder if Richie Blackmore knows that you admire him and that you list him as one of your influencers. I wonder if he knows.
He does, actually. And I had a really lovely story that with Richie Blackmore back in the day. You know, sometimes you meet your idol. You don't want to meet your idols just in case they're horrible or they're having an off day. And I've met a few of mine and they've been awesome. Like I met Prince and it was just beautiful. You know, I met him in a club. He was playing after he'd done an arena show and in Paris. And I said, no guitar on this tour? He said, no, maybe on the next tour. Then he got up on stage in this club, got a Strat and played Red House by Jimi Hendrix. So I was like, thank you. So that was wonderful. Had a great Sting story. You obviously know Sting, but he's my favorite songwriter. The Police are my favorite band, and I just had a wonderful experience. He used to live above me in New York. He was in the apartment, the condo above me. But no, I met him.
Is that the one that overlooks Grand Central Park?
Not that one. This was on the corner of Houston and West Broadway in Soho. So it's a really cool area. But yeah, that was that. And Mick Jagger had such brilliant experience with Mick Jagger. He was in the studio next to us when we was doing Hysteria. I know.
And but what you and Mick, I mean, that would be a great collaboration. I mean, he's worked with Jeff Beck and so on.
Well, it is a great story. So is recording with Jeff Beck in this thing. And I'm trying to listen through the doorway. I'm like going, it's Jeff Beck and Mick Jagger. And so door opens up and it's Mick Jagger and he goes, hey man, come on in, man. And I'm like, whoa. So I think it was me and Rick. And he said, have a seat. So we're sitting down in the control room. He's doing a lead vocal in the control room. And there's Jeff Beck and Simon Phillips on drums, Doug Wimbish on bass. And we're like, whoa. And he was really cool. And, you know, we was there while he was doing the album. So we got to hang, we got to talk, we got to even go out. And he was just wonderful. He was like everything you'd want him to be. Just like so knowledgeable, obviously, about everything. you're asking these questions. Go, well, da 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 da. It's like, wow, insane.
Wow. I think that must have been when Mick was doing the She's the Boss album, because I'm trying to think of when did Mick and Jeff Beck play together, and it was definitely She's the Boss. And they had that black dude, Nile Rodgers, is it?
Well, he's the guitar player, but Bernard, oh God, Bernard
Fowler?
Bernard Fowler's the singer, right?
All right, yeah.
Yeah, so Bernard Edwards was the bass player, and she.
Okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, Nile Rodgers, crazy, great funk playing.
Yeah, I think he's on She's the Boss as well. I mean, I don't think he had them all together at the same time.
Right.
And now you don't even have to be in the same room, apparently.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're not the only one who does that. I remember years ago a band called OK Go, and they made
yeah.
You know them?
I remember the song on
the treadmill, treadmill video, right?
Yeah, that's great.
They told me in Berlin, because I used to live there, they said we never even got together. We did it all online. Like they did the whole album online.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had a weird thing. We had Love Bites, we recorded like that, but then the song went to #1 and we'd never played it live. So we actually had to take 2 days off and learn it, because it's got all these vocals in, and it was really hard to sing the parts, play the guitar at the same time. Get all the harmonies. But we finally got it, and it was horrible at first, but we do it now and you would never even know,
Yeah, and this album that's coming out, that's out now, did you do that remotely, or did you actually get in the studio?
No, we were supposed to go in the studio, and then COVID came along. They said, oh, literally the day we were supposed to fly, and then everything got kind of grounded. So no, we didn't. And mainly me and Joe was back and forth. We started writing songs for the love of doing it. We actually didn't even have a record label when we started the record. We were like, well, what about this song? Wouldn't it be great if something like that? And well, what you got? And then I've got this idea, and next morning he'd send it back to me, and it would be a song. So that's how we done most of it. It was great.
Cool. Well, you're coming to my area soon. I think this month, so I'm going to be there.
Great.
I hope, and I hope the Dot Bots, my massage team, I hope they're going to get their hands on Def Leppard.
Yeah.
We're there when you need us.
Well, cool. I need you to do it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Someone sent me a picture recently. I don't have the book. You wrote a book, and there's 2 pages that mention our meeting in it in 1983. You wrote about me in your book, and they're like, yeah. Did you know about this? I'm like, no, I don't have the book. So
I'll get you one. Yeah.
I need to I'll buy it, and I'll bring it to you. You can sign it.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to come to the New York show and say hi. It's been a while. It's been way too long.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to headline, or is it going to be like everyone taking turns?
It's us and Motley taking turns, and then Poison and Joan go on early. And I think we got a band going on before Joan as well, just to break the ice type thing.
Like a festival almost.
It is. It's a moving festival, so it's going to be great. And we were rehearsing in Pennsylvania with production rehearsals, with all the lights and everything.
To go to Pennsylvania. There's another band there right now. Like what was it the other day? I can't remember. Breaking Benjamin. They're all rehearsing in Pennsylvania too. What is it about Pennsylvania? I don't get it.
There's this wonderful facility, and it's designed for road crews and bands, and it's in the middle of nowhere, which is the other great thing. So you can really get on with it, and it houses everything. You can put all the light rig up there and the stage and all that stuff. So us and Motley were in there together. We'd see each other every other day, and it was just great because I hadn't seen them for ages.
Are there any Amish people hanging around?
Well, yeah, actually, someone said, a cop told one of our people, said, oh yeah, this guy, he gets blind drunk and he's got a cart and a horse, and they stop him. They go, oh, it's okay because the horse knows where to go. So the guy's blind drunk, they just leave him, and he goes, that was the local folklore story. So yeah.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Aww. I mean, I've been to parts of England where people are still riding horses around because they lost their license from drink driving, but they're allowed to ride their horses.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
in Grindleton, out near Blackburn, 4,000 holes in Blackburn, Lancashire.
Yeah.
A smaller town called Grindleton, and I went there a few times to visit an ex, and there was people come into the bar and parking their horse outside. I'm like, seriously? And they're like, oh, well, she lost her license from drunk driving. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it still happens.
That's brilliant. Wow. Yeah.
Are you, and one other fan asked, I can't remember the name, but they said, I didn't even write it down because I thought, oh, he's going to say no, but will you ever live in England again? That's what the question was.
I don't know. I was just over there recently and it was great. It was really, really cool. I mean, I left there because of the weather. That was the main thing. But I don't know. I don't know. And I think if anything, the weather's kind of scary out here at the moment. You know,
yeah.
Where we are right now is okay, but you just the fires. It's like every year there's fires and there's the drought and all of that stuff. So that's getting a bit. It's just dangerous, you know. It's
and
like
mudslides and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the fires happen because they don't trim the brush away or whatever. It happens every year, or they set them on fire on purpose, but then they can't control them or something. It's crazy.
Well, they got goats out there this time. This is the truth. They got some goats that are obviously can't do too much of an area, but they've got them out there actually chowing down and doing exactly that. And so instead of burning them, they go and have a feast. So that's what's happening right now.
So they're importing all the goats from somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it must be hard to find Marmite and stuff in LA.
No, you can get all that stuff now, you know. Heinz
bacon.
Yeah. And Vegemite, yeah. I mean, it's an acquired taste. I'm not really a huge fan, and Jackson was like, he loves the jar because we got some here, and he's like, oh, that's great. I said, well, you want to taste it? And he said, okay. And he didn't dig it at all. It was just salty.
Or you could use that as punishment later on. Either eat your vegetables, or you're going to have some Marmite or something like that.
There you go. I like that. That's good.
Instead of washing out the mouth with soap like they did in the 50s, like if you swear I'm going to wash out your mouth with soap, you can just threaten with Marmite, you know.
I think that's a good one. I'll try that.
All right, well, I keep getting threatened here on Zoom that we only have 2 minutes left. I've never had that happen before, but I guess I'll let you go anyways, because you got to go crack the whip and get the little one in bed and stuff. Are you going to bring Helen and Jackson on tour? Or?
They're going to come out later on. Yeah, I think, you know, all my kids at some point are just like, they just take it in turns, you know, and come out. But yeah, it's going to be different because it's obviously there's COVID rules. It's not like it used to be, but the band sounds better than ever. Motley, it's just great seeing them. And we have such a great interaction, you know. I've known.
Is Tommy Lee on drums still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so I just watched that Pam and Tommy thing on Hulu.
Yeah,
it was really good, by the way. I'm not a fan of their music whatsoever. I have massaged them all. They're fun to be around, but I know. And that Pam and Tommy thing was fucking good.
Really? Oh God.
Wow. I couldn't stop.
Sure. I'll check that out when
I couldn't stop. I could not stop. I was like binging, you know. It's so good.
Wow. Yeah. Have you seen the Sex Pistols one? Pistol?
Pardon? Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I'm gonna.
Great. It's great.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah.
I'm excited. That's going to be my next one. I mean, I rarely have time to watch anything. It's when I eat once a day with my salad. I'm like, it's either Gordon Ramsay teaching me how to cook, or it's a rock star biop or something. But I'm going to check out that Sex Pistols one. You can check out Pam and Tommy on the bus.
I will actually. So tempeh seitan.
Okay, I'm definitely going to write down the name of the protein powder because my fingernails are cracking, my hair is falling out.
Oh no, get this stuff down here. So yeah, Tom Brady's TB15 or something. It's protein powder, but yes, cool.
Right, I definitely will take health advice from you. Look at you, you know. So.
Oh, thank you. And greens, like greens.
Oh geez, all day. I mean, I'm a cow, but I don't have enough, protein.
And I take supplements as well. You know, I take B12 and D3. You should do.
Okay, I'm taking B12, but not B3, and D. I'm taking D. I don't see
D3. Yeah. It's good. It's good to add that, especially if you're traveling and da. So yeah.
Yeah, you look honestly, Phil. You look like you're 39 years old.
Thank you.
You have not aged at all. So you're doing well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will see you at the end of this month.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
Take care. Thank you.
Tell Helen I send my love.
I will. Thanks. All right.
Night, mate.
See you later. Cheers. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that video conversation between myself and Phil. If you liked it, please click the like button and be sure to follow and subscribe. Thank you.